It is my delight to present the remarks by the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. ABUBAKAR BUKOLA SARAKI, Commander Order of the Niger, at the 2018 May Day event organized by the Nigerian Labour Congress at the Trade Union Congress at Eagle Square here in Abuja on May 1, 2018. It is an honor and privilege to be here to identify with the Nigerian workers on this glorious occasion. A special welcome to our guests from the public and private sectors, civil society and organized labor spectrum, as well as multinationals, to the 2018 May Day event organized by the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. Today's gathering is a long-standing tradition around the globe in recognition of workers, a day set apart to reinforce workers' rights, their demands and expectations from employers, both private and government. This is a day earmarked for workers to replenish themselves and solidarize. Rich in history and purpose, today's event offers us as leaders an opportunity to interact with the citizens we have sworn to govern, to listen to their voices, and to better understand their needs. In Nigeria, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, being the constitutionally enabled bodies vested with articulating and representing the interests of Nigerian workers in this democratic government, has been doing so diligently and purposefully. It is on this note and in recognition of the human and developmental challenges that beset us as a people that I commend the choice of theme for this year's May Day commemoration, Labour Movement in National Development, Dare to Struggle, Dare to Win, as pertinent to the realities of present-day Nigeria. Ours is a country that prides herself on the strength of her people, her unity in diversity, and her resilience in austerity. We have gone through some trying times in the course of our 58-year existence, and we are still standing tall, owing to our doggedness and determination not only to survive, but to thrive against all odds. The workers form the bedrock upon which the building blocks of any sustained national development can be laid. There can be no economic growth without the contribution of workers, and there can be no national development without economic development. Our workers play crucial roles in all we attain as a nation, and this is a fact that calls for recognition always. On this May Day, I salute all Nigerian workers for their sacrifice and resilience in the face of dwindling economic fortunes. What they put in daily to ensure that the ship of state continues to run is tremendous when considered holistically. And I want to urge them not to relent in their efforts to help grow our economy in particular and the nation in general. Central to the theme of these events in recent years has been the issue of remuneration of workers, workers' welfare and productivity. Judging from recent agitations and previous presentations, it is quite evident that the twin issues of workers' welfare and productivity also form the mainstay of the agenda of the labor movement at the present time. The average Nigerian worker is saddled with numerous responsibilities and problems. These include, but are not limited to, the following: lack of adequate remuneration that can effect change on the realities and responsibilities of the times we live in, rising cost of living in the country as a whole, insecurity in some parts of the country, lack of jobs and meaningful opportunities, leading to some of our people seeking other pastures illegally, especially the youth. Effects of inflation and the recent recession on the economy, poor working conditions, living standards way below United Nations and Sustainable Development Goals poverty line. lack of opportunities for job growth and improvement, career progression, security and self-actualization, etc. I've always maintained that our collective strength as a nation is not in our financial clout or the amount of natural endowments or resources we may possess. Our collective strength lies in our human capital, our people, the workforce, and our ability to harness them. Human capital lays the foundation for the optimal utilization of our natural resources. In essence, we will not be a country without the workers. The recent economic recession in the country and other notable factors have played significant roles in the agitation for upward review of the National Minimum Wage Act of 2010. Parents are struggling and in many cases cannot pay for their wards to go to school, thereby frustrating efforts to add value to the education sector. Families cannot afford basic health care because the monthly emoluments of breadwinners prove inadequate for health requirements. Our efforts to restructure housing are also affected by the inability of many to afford basic housing or get access to mortgage. These issues trickle down to a myriad of other sectors like security, transportation, and of course, food and feeding. From the outset of the 8th Senate and indeed the National Assembly, we have constantly held meetings with civil society organizations, youth representatives, private sector, and NGOs across the development value chain in order to stimulate economic growth and to focus on the needs and aspirations of our people. We are a pro-development National Assembly and will continue to favor policies that better the lives of Nigerians. Just on the 23rd of April 2018, we held a public hearing that was attended by a broad spectrum of the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress and other stakeholders. We assure you that your inputs and views gathered at that public hearing will be subjected to further legislative action towards improving the welfare of Nigerian workers. Having said this, it must be noted that the process of reviewing the National Minimum Wage Act is a painstaking one. Sufficient consultations have to be made in the states, given the peculiarity of their problems. This is an issue that has been on the front burner and one that the federal government must take seriously. This process has to be analyzed relative to country-specific realities in respect of the economy, social and human development. The quest for national development can only be achieved when we come together in recognition and acceptance that some things could be better. We must therefore be willing to come to the round table in dialogue to collectively fashion a new way forward. It is no credit to us as a country that our workers are ranked amongst the most poorly paid in the world, even below some of the countries in the sub-Saharan African region with us. I therefore urge all the tiers of government in the spirit of this May Day celebration to have a set of targets for the holistic review of these issues towards a legislative solution that moves us forward. Let me use this opportunity to assure the Nigerian Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, and all Nigerians of government determination to ensure the prompt payment of workers' salaries. The National Assembly is working tirelessly to ensure the rebound of the economy and improve standards of living for all. We as lawmakers will always support all efforts geared towards improving workers' remunerations and general conditions of service and living. Of this, you can be assured that we will do our bit. I thank the organizers of the 2018 May Day celebration, the leadership of Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, including all other relevant unions, for putting together this program on both state and national levels. I urge all to the path of peace and dialogue in making their demands, as employers and employees need one another to succeed. Let us remember that there can be no development without peace, and anything done in the pursuit of peace is good and in the national interest. It is my strong belief that the actions and dispositions we take today on the affairs of our people will ultimately determine our legacy in the face of posterity. I wish you all a